Yeah.
I memorized it.
Okay.
What does this go to?
Just it's like
It's a live stream
Oh.
on our Facebook and
welcome everybody. Hello. Hope everyone's having a good day. Land acknowledgement.
Me. On behalf of the Kalmiopsis Community High School, we would like to take this moment to acknowledge that the high school is located within ancestral homelands of the Takuma, Talui Dini, and the Kakrikumpwa Confederated Tribes of the Silex Indians, and the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde, the peoples who have lived here since immemorial. These tribes were displaced during the rapid American colonization, the gold rush, and the armed conflict between 1851 and 1856, which led to epidemics, starvation, the burning of villages, and displacement. In 1853, the first of several treaties were signed between the American federal government, these tribes and others. These treaties ceded most of their homelands to the United States, and in return, they were guaranteed a permanent homeland. At the end of the Rogue River Wars in 1856, these tribes and many other tribes from the Western Oregon were removed to this reservation, and the Grand Rogue Reservation. Many died during the forced march known as the Oregon's Trail of Tears, and their homelands were lost. Today, despite these and other atrocities committed against them, Native communities remain committed to leaving the world better than they found it. As we recognize and honor these lands where we live and learn, we express support for the resilience and strength that all Indigenous people have shown worldwide.
Does anyone have additions to the agenda?
I have a couple changes. I'd like to move the scholarship review committee to the beginning before reports so that Sarah can go home with her sick child. And then Melissa has requested to table the grievance policy for now. Her and I are going to do some research and get a policy actually written that we can bring to the board.
Okay. And approve the meeting agenda from last meeting.
No, now we ask for a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve agenda as amended.
I second.
All those in favor? Yep.
Okay, and then approve minutes from January 5th board meeting.
Does everybody have a chance to review those? Okay. I motion to approve the minutes from January 5th.
1 second. And then we have, do we have any public comments? No.
I did not receive any.
We got a donation from one of my oldest daughter, Maya's clients. She does nails. She brought us a box of, she heard about our school and donated a whole box of art supplies, like nice markers and stuff. I guess Maya's been chatting at the Kalmiopsis.
And then that's when we do, or
The scholarship. Yep.
So I just wanted to, can I add something to the agenda?
Sure.
Okay,
What do you want to add?
well, in Grand Pass, they're gonna have a peace rally
Okay.
at the park,
Okay.
March 1st. And I was wondering if Kalmiopsis School would like to have a booth or be a part of that or something.
Should we re-vote to approve the agenda if we add that now? Or can I add that to where we added it before?
Let's do it.
Reapprove?
I motion to reapprove.
I'll still second that. Everybody approve Sally's addition?
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Sorry.
No, sorry, it's fine.
And we'll do that. Okay.
So then the scholarship review.
So just going to committee, yeah, thank you for. Upon us, and as you know, we have a KCA specific scholarship that's through the Redwood Foundation. And it's time to organize a committee of people who will review the student scholarship essays and rate them. I guess there's like you go into an online portal and you read their application essays and rate them, score them, and then the committee would kind of meet and decide based on the scores they did independently which students to grant the scholarships to. And we would have decided like how many, we have to kind of look at the budget, and I would probably do that, and with the advice of the Redwood Foundation, decide how much we could afford to award this year, and how many awards we could give. But we met as a teacher leader team and decided that we kind of wanted the committee to be a group of people who were a little bit further removed from the students than we are, because it could be difficult for us to be objective, because we're so intimately familiar with the students, and even if the essays are not the best, that we're in that. And we're also who are writing the recommendations. So I wanted to ask a couple of community members and also open it up to the board if anyone is interested in being on that committee. Awesome. And then I would just send your name and email to the Redwood Foundation. The only thing to keep in mind, because we have some parents on the board, is that when it comes to the year where your child is applying for the scholarship, it becomes a conflict of interest.
That's why I raised my hand.
But I would love to include the three of you.
Yeah, I do it.
And I can pull your emails off of the email thread for the board members. So,
Sally, it looked like you were interested. Amanda. Mindy, could you raise your hand too? Oh, that's right. I'm trying to make things up.
And you have my permission to use whatever you need.
and then I can also email you more information about timeline. But it looks like once I send your name and email to the Redwood Foundation on March 1st, they will email you with directions for how to set up your review account, and it's in a portal on a website called Kaleidoscope. So you would go in there and read the essays, and then you would have a pretty good time frame. So from March 1st until April 17th to finish reading and reviewing those essays and make a decision about who to award.
Would it be appropriate for the scholarship review committee to meet and discuss those things in person, or through Kaleidoscope? It's totally appropriate and fine for them to do it independently and not really ever talk to each other.
Good question, that was specified in, like, Gabrielle from the foundation emailed me and just said, you and your committee, if applicable, will have until April 17th to review the eligible applicants, score their applications, and determine who will receive the award. So it sounds like there's some room with the committee to decide whether to read and score them together or do that independently. Maybe it would make sense to do it independently at first and then come together and look at the rankings that you gave. But I think probably the committee could decide, and I'll like link you all up once I know who Kate Dwyer has said yes so far. Okay. And then I asked Roberta from the library if she wanted to join. I haven't heard back from her yet, but those are the community members that I asked. And if either one of them says no, then I was thinking about asking someone from the family coalition. Just to get the variety of perspectives.
I have my calendar up. Should we, maybe set a couple dates?
Sure, yeah, maybe, or would it make sense to wait until we know for sure who all is gonna be on there, and then I can create an email thread for you?
Oh, that's true, because it's
So
not
just
just
include
us,
the three of you,
and
and
that's the other community.
Kate, and then if Roberta says yes, I'll include her too.
Just, yeah, April 17th is the third Friday in April. So. maybe First 2 weeks.
Cool. Thank you so much for being interested and involved in that.
Well,
Yeah, that's really helpful. Because we did talk about it, we were like, oh, we can't be on the scholarship committee, that is not.
I'm surprised that they even encouraged us to do that.
Yeah.
They were like they assumed that
Yeah.
we would be doing it.
They're like, every one of your classes is 35 kids, right? We have 6 classes a day.
I'm super excited.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool thing. Hopefully I can get my mom and her doctor friends to do it.
I'm excited. Yay.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. But just one more thing, Sarah, the Redwood Foundation thing, is there a way that we can, because the board does a lot of fundraising committee stuff, is there a link or something that we can share with the board of directors to maybe put the word out if any of the community members want to donate to the scholarship?
Yes, there's a link on the Redwood website where you can click to donate, but you have to specify that it's for the KCA scholarship.
Okay.
Make your donation. I can send that out later.
Awesome, thanks. Cool.
Yay. Thank you.
Thank you, bye. Tell him I said love him, hope he feels better.
And now we're moving on to reports. And the first report is the financial report with Ryan.
Hi friends! I have passed around, there's some of us now like we don't have one, the December statement of activity. As a reminder, we're kind of a month behind because it takes time to do this stuff, so it's February 2nd, we can't have finished all of the January paperwork by February 2nd. $131,000 change, savings $27,000 change. Grand total, $159,000. Any other questions on statement of activity?
It got needed.
Oh, gosh. So, would that be an amendment or a change? A change to the minutes for last month?
I don't think so, because the minutes from last month report how it was reported to us. And so now I'll know, I'll report it as, as what it is, and then I've noted that I inquired about that.
Audit report. Friends, our audit seems to be winding down. I got a draft of our financial report from our auditors. I did share this email with you guys. It might have just been yesterday or the day before, so if you don't check your email frequently, you may not have seen this. But this is our report. You can see the big letters draft on here. So this is a draft report. So we have that. There's another thing that is called the management representation letter. Share one for our students, maybe one for this side of the table, maybe one for that side of the table. This is actually a letter that the auditors draft for us.
Is that?
Our auditors draft for us to sign to them, saying we agree that all of this is true. And so I will be asking for a motion. It does require 2 signatures. Last year it was me as our financial manager and our treasurer. But I will be asking for a motion that we agree that essentially the summary, there's like a bunch of points. We did it all properly as far as we know. I might have another copy or two. We can pass that so we can see. Here's another one. Oh, sorry. Here,
So sorry.
So we agree that we provided you with access to all the information. We agree that we've disclosed to you all of our information, the methods we use, our accounting principles. We agree that we're responsible, our financial statements are correct. That's basically all that. So we put it on our letterhead. So Amanda, don't mess up that one. One on letterhead. Make it color costs more. So that's the one we would sign. Take a moment to review that. Let me know if you have any questions. And then if someone would like to propose that perhaps me and our treasurer sign on behalf of KCA.
I think that'd be a good idea.
I think too.
Yeah. I think we both for this one.
Are you guys motion?
I motion the consent for you guys to sign.
I second that. All in favor?
Yay.
Thank you.
So should like an officer sign?
And generally, what I'm asking is that perhaps me as financial manager and treasurer. That's what we did last year. And so I believe that might have been the motion, although maybe it wasn't 100% clear. Your motion on that.
You want me to make a move?
Up to you.
I motion the consent to let our treasurer, our financial officer, and the consent for them to sign.
On behalf of KCA?
On behalf of KCA.
Nice.
I'll second that. All in favor?
One other point. So regarding our audit, there is another thing called the MD&A, which is the management discussion and analysis, and it's technically not required. Does you know what we said last year? Okay, we're not doing it. But it's encouraged. We're encouraged. It kind of reflects better on us if we actually take the time to review the audit and share our thoughts on it. If it looks accurate and it seems that we support it, some things like that. I have samples of another school's, and this was sent to me by the auditors. I asked them for a template, and they said, here's a sample of what they look like. Here's one, here's one, and here's two more, here's one, here's one. So it's about 4.5 to 5 pages. It is generally some kind of fairly boilerplate stuff. You throw in the things that apply to you as a school, you say, yeah, here's a summary of our financial situation, and then you throw in those things. And so I don't know that it will be too much work, but I am asking, perhaps if we could have maybe a one-time committee, where maybe we meet one time in person, and then maybe we can have this as our version as a Google document that we can work together on. This and then
This is what we responded to.
the auditor had some findings that were considered more significant than this year. Was too much power in the hands of one person. Can you guess who that was? And so the idea was that we need to have more oversight. We need to have more. And we basically set up some more oversight. There's now several processes where the treasurer or the chair sign off on things. I sign off and then pass it on, and then they review. And so that was. This is this organization who have taught me to basically respond. You know, we paid $10,000 or $15,000 to someone to write a report, and then that's it. Or we could say, hey, we've reviewed it and we agree with them, and here's the things that we want to highlight that we're doing, and here's a summary of it. You know, it's kind of that. So it's not required for us, but it could be a good practice, best practice to basically review the audit and then have our analysis. So I'm curious if anyone would join me. Okay. Did one of you raise your hand? No.
Let's do.
I was fixing my.
Right. I will reach out to Amanda and Mindy and Kelly to see if we can either set up a meeting or maybe just share out this and start reviewing it. Probably a good idea to meet in person and kind of try to understand what exactly it is that we're tasked with as a short meeting. But pretty much that's all I got.
So, Ryan, this is kind of the same thing that you asked us to fill out about. If there was any questions.
I mean, it's
It's different.
the questionnaire is different. The questionnaire, but it's a similar thing. Is basically you guys signing off on.
Okay.
And did everybody do their audit surveys? Did everybody get that in their email successfully?
I don't know if I sent it to.
I said that,
They yeah, the auditor said they have received enough questions.
Great.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, moving on to community and culture. Enrollment updates.
Hi, hello, hi. Enrollment update. We got enrollment. There's 61 students enrolled. Pretty much the only class we have space in is the freshman class. There are 11 ninth graders, 16 10th graders, 20 11th graders, and 14 12th graders. There's one student on the wait list in the sophomore class, which is full. There are 2 students on the wait list for the junior class, which is also full.
You said 1 for sophomores and 2 for juniors?
1 for sophomores, 2 for juniors. And the only class with really any space would be the freshmen, I guess technically, go away. I guess technically, wait, no. Sorry, I'm having a technology for a second. You know,
Technology for a second.
yes, okay, back on track. Technically, there are 2 like spaces in the senior class, but not really. Cause there's no one on the wait list, A, and then B, so far into the year, unless, it's like really hard to find a spot for a senior to be where they're actually gonna be able to get the credits that they graduate this semester. Kind of relieved. It's kind of a relief that there aren't any in the senior wait list. Anything else? Seems like every single senior, no, that's not true. 14 seniors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them may still need an additional semester.
5 of our seniors.
And I think that's it.
Thank you.
And community connections.
Community connections. There's some really cool punk shows brewing. Spoke to Courtney Flood, who has already locked down grant funding for a youth-centered, completely free punk show. It will be May 30th at Jubilee Park. They're gonna set up a stage closer to the skate park itself so that the music is right up on the skate park. There will be resource sharing, Food Not Bombs will be there. There will be clothes swap. One student really wants to do like a punk jewelry DIY booth. So, and then also Courtney Coco has asked to gauge interest with students who play music to see if any of the students want to play at the show. The very following weekend, there is a Barter Fair affiliated skate park music show as well. It's like a skate CJ, more of like a Barter Fair themed thing, where it's like the one that Coco is planning is gonna be more like punk rock, hardcore, completely free, resource sharing kind of thing. The Barter Fair one is gonna be competition focused. They're gonna do murals on the skate park. There's a lot of really fun stuff that's supposed to be happening on that one too. I'm not directly involved with the planning of the Barter Fair one, but I have personally met with Coco about the other.
Okay.
Because I didn't know that the Barter Fair one was happening until after meeting with Coco. So for sure, gonna have some student groups involved in the May 30th one. It sounds like there's an idea for some kind of intensive to be happening around the Barter Fair one the following weekend, but nothing set in stone. Another community connection, well, you already brought up Kelly, that awesome art supply donation, so that's
Wrong space.
That's okay. It's never the wrong space. What else?
I followed up with Amy Guzan about getting us the information from the Clampers about the
Yeah.
trade school scholarship.
Cool. And then the Redwood Foundation. I think that's all for community connections right now. I don't think there's anything else developing.
And student report. So we just got new classes, so everything is a little chaotic, everyone's trying to find out the classes and stuff, it gets a little confusing when we do that. But everything seems to be good. I personally like my classes, half of them are lockout periods. Some of the students, some of the seniors, we took a field trip to Swap College, back in Coos Bay. It's community college, it's really nice, it's got a really, really nice culinary program. So I definitely went and definitely considering, and a lot of students definitely really like Swap, and they're also considering, so that's really cool.
You spell it for me.
Swap, or, okay, it's SWOCC, yeah,
Okay.
Swap. Which is Southern Oregon, like, some Washington?
Hang on, I have a computer.
Something like that, but it's really
I
cool.
believe it's Southwest Oregon.
Yeah, southwest,
Thanks, Ryan.
southwest.
Directional work.
Yes, exactly, those
I'm all
ones.
South Washington.
We did get like 5 new students,
Nice.
they're, yeah, they all seem really nice. I introduced myself to each one of them a little awkwardly like Taryn did, but you know what, that's alright, it's okay. But yeah, trying to make sure they feel welcome. They seemed like they just kind of went for like moved. They went to like people pretty immediately,
Oh,
big
yeah.
friends. So
Nice.
you know, there wasn't much like issue with that. And yeah, I feel like there's not been like too much going on. There's been like a little bit of drama, but you know, we worked through most of the drama that's been happening. So there's that. You know, just normal high school random stuff. And
Sort of justice rubbing off.
yeah, lots of that always, we do it all the time. But yeah, I think that's pretty much anything to add, Jake.
No, not really, actually, pretty well.
So yeah, yes.
I have a question for you. What was the feedback from your performances?
Oh yes, whirlwind, oh my gosh, whirlwind. I just got over it whirlwind week, so we didn't even talk about that, but everyone did such an amazing job. We did 4 plays, I think. Drake directed one, and he also wrote one, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I was in one of the plays, there was one, I don't know if you all saw them, but, one of them was like about, we had like a couple things we had to include in the plays, and one of them was yo-yos, and so there was like a yo-yo bar, and there was like, I don't know, it was really fun, like the play on, one of them was a 4th wall break, so every play had to include a 4th wall break. One of them was repetition.
Awkward.
Oh yeah, an awkward silence, so every play had to include an awkward silence. And oh yeah, and a celebrity. There needed to be a celebrity. And yeah, there was some pretty funny plays. I was thoroughly entertained. It was definitely chaotic, the week of whirlwind, as it always is, but there's a lot of learning. There's a lot of learning how to direct, learning how to tell people to stop directing too hard, stuff like that, you know. Things get, yes, collaboration. But I also think it's such a good opportunity because it really helps all of us like end up working together at the end, and like I feel it's a really good like chaotic team building exercise. So yeah, I definitely had a good time, and I think most of the students definitely had a good time. So lots.
Money? Or is that another?
It's just, I think it's just something, you know, we do, cause like we have some intensives, so like the first week or we'll have like a bunch of options to do, and that's what you do for the first week, and they're kind of like into our community class, cause we have community class, and I think that's kind of like an elective credit that we get, so we do it differently from other schools. So how we get our elective credits is doing our intensives. So it's like, you know, instead of like a random our elective or something, we all do like whirlwind, and so that adds to one of our electives, you know? So, yeah.
And it's treated a little more like an open house than like a ticketed event.
I thought I saw popcorn.
There was,
Yeah,
there's
there's
one.
Free?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
We had a little donation jar up front by like the cookies.
Oh, okay.
I tried to put my money like on the edge under the lid so that people knew that's where they were supposed to put money in the donate. I don't know how they could.
It seemed like there was like $9.
Great, yeah, cool.
We made $10.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah.
I've never been that jelly every time.
There was some crinkly popcorn bag.
Oh.
Overseas.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of kids crinkling
Lots of
colors.
years.
Look at ramen.
Yeah.
No one could hear.
That's fine. I thought
It was just in the back, no, and I with the popcorn.
it was on purpose.
I know that.
Anyways, staff report?
But yeah, staff report. Yes.
Hi, I'm staff and I'm reporting. And I'm reporting that staff. What is up? Oh, nope, that's coming up later. There might be more staff later. That's part of the report. We've been having interviews.
I have that under.
Yep, that's later, and then, well, I don't know.
Professional development. You got
Professional
that?
development, thank you. Just was on. I'm like looking around, please someone help me. So Melissa and Sarah and I are gonna go to Las Vegas this month
Vegas.
on the, there's my calendar, like, secret. It is fun. We're gonna leave on Wednesday and we will be back Saturday at 1:00 in the afternoon. And so it's a project-based learning professional development conference in Las Vegas, where since we do a lot of project-based learning, since we have multi-tiered like grade classes, project-based learning is one of the ways that we can really showcase each student's ability and proficiency in a content area without having to make a different assignment for each difficulty level, right? So depending on a student's abilities and grade level, they can produce a project essentially that will meet the standards for their grade level for the class that they're in. And so really that's what the entire conference is about. Since we're an arts integrated conference, we learned a lot about project-based learning, or like we heard it mentioned a lot when we went to the teacher-powered conference. It's one way that teacher-powered schools can give agency back to the students, where they're more in charge of their learning and how quickly they get done with it. So I'm really looking forward to that. We rented like a house and and a car so that we don't have to call an Uber like we did have to do in Michigan, which was fine. But that should be fun. I hate flying, so I'll probably complain. I'll complain, get it? Anyways, what else? Sorry, a little bit cringe. Staff work. Oh, I have a field trip. I'm gonna take my anatomy class to ScienceWorks on February 25th. And talk to me about that later, Lucy. You're special. Sorry, Drake, you're not special, you are also special, but just not as special as you. I'm just kidding. Different kind of special. Lucy has lockout, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
ScienceWorks anatomy class, they did so well the first semester, they were so well behaved, they were on top of their work, that they deserve a little treat. ScienceWorks just opened up this really cool art show about chronic health conditions. This artist does watercolor portraits of people with bugs and animals integrated to represent different chronic health conditions. So yeah, it's gonna be a really, really cool field trip. We're not gonna be gone all day, although I did at first try and plan, day packed full of things, but like, no, that's silly. Like, it's not necessary. We're just gonna leave halfway through second period and then we'll be back around 4:30. So there's that. Sarah is gonna take her students not very long after that to the Daily Courier to check out their like news space, print area. Okay, yeah, it's time for me to go to bed. And so that's a really cool field trip. It sounds like there is an all school ice skating field trip happening during our project-based learning conference, as a way to get out of having to do subplans. For those of us who are gonna be gone. And also, because that is just a really great tradition that the school does. I'm low-key super bummed about missing ice skating. I love it.
And Ryan's
But I'll be
really good.
Vegas, so.
And Ryan's really good at it.
Yeah, Ryan's gonna do something that has a name. A little triple sock out. There you go. Oh, wow. Let me think about anything else. Yes, at the arena. February 19th, I wanna say, right? Is that Thursday? Thursday, February 19th. Yes, coming right up. Valentine's Day is on the weekend. Woo! Very stoked as a school staff person for high school aged children, because I'm not a big fan of Valentine's Day at the high school. So I'm low-key stoked that it is on the weekend and I do not have to watch people be sad that they didn't get a snack basket. Am I missing anything, Casey?
I think we're good for now.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to Oregon Shakespeare Festival.
Shakespeare
We're
Festival
gonna
later,
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Anyway, yeah. Yeah, I think that's fine. We got our closet popped up, like our resource closets, our clothes, we got a clothing rack, so everything is in bags, whenever a student has a need, they can go to our little clothing rack and just get whatever they need, so that's nice and organized. We've gotten a little more organized for other classes, locking up certain supplies for classes that end up getting used before the class has a chance to use them, so that's also something that I would say counts as a staff update, because that was a hard lesson to learn, that was finally being implemented. And I'm practicing saying no. Woo! Good for you. So that's real hard, and makes me very uncomfortable. I am, I told 2 kids no today, not right now, that wasn't applicable, but I did tell 2 kids no today who I would have typically told yes. And you can ask, well, Lucy wasn't there, but I went, no. It was so hard.
I'm gonna try again tomorrow.
It's gonna be, no. Yeah, so that is a lesson.
Good job.
And I am, yes, thank you. Great, fundraising committee report.
Yes.
I can do that. On Ryan's financial statement, we saw that the senior funds, which is what we've raised through the gross out days, we had $2,526.60. Gracie told me that does not include, she has $280 from the Jones School Bazaar selling center. And so there's that, and then she also let me know that she has, she will be getting together with Tara at the replay sometime this week to schedule an Asian dinner fiesta fundraiser. I don't know if you have not had Russ's crab rangoon, it's really quite.
I make it.
There were fights over it.
Lucy's crab rangoon.
There's a legend that there were fights over it.
Oh, there were fights.
The legendary
There were
rangoon
fights.
Yeah, can't wait. Legend has been foretold.
So that, to further on that, because I know things about it, because, you know, we're gonna get a committee of students to help us serve and help us prep. I'm definitely, senior wise, so I'm gonna help pick the students, me and Greg can help pick the students, but we just need we're thinking about using most of the people that were in like Russell's calling a class already for like prep wise, because that would be helpful because we already made prep right.
And you also have your food handlers like.
Yes, and we all have our food handlers cards, so that would be pretty practical, but I'm gonna select a few students and then we'll have, so then we have students volunteering, and what we really had an issue with last time we did this buffet, was serving sizes, so I think we're gonna have students serving and like talk about serving sizes and stuff, because last time we could have made more money, but the food went so fast that we didn't even like have time, so. I think, so if we played it, I feel like it will be a lot better and a lot smoother. Last time it was like madhouse.
Yeah.
What was the buffet?
Yeah, we did a buffet for the first year of KCA's fundraiser, and
I love that.
we made about $1,000, so then, another $1,000 for our senior fund, so that would be good, hopefully more, so.
I think that the idea to have the students who all have their food handlers cards participate in this activity is so smart. Because you're supposed to have that.
But I'm gonna try and find mostly seniors though, because
Yeah, of course.
I'd be pissed if I wasn't a
And you
senior.
did video.
Yeah. But yeah, that's in the works for sure.
That sounds fantastic. Cool.
And then,
I think so.
okay, so now we're gonna go to old business, which is first is grievance policy.
Are we tabling the
Yeah,
grievance
we
policy?
Oh yeah, sorry,
So staff code of conduct. I would like to start this section with a bit of a story. So years ago, when I was working at the film school, we came across, we came across a bit of a kerfuffle with something called the staff code of conduct. If there is not a paper code of conduct in the building for adults to stick to, word, for lack of a better word. Basically, if it's not on writing, then people can get away with it, right? We currently do not have a staff code of conduct in writing. We desperately need one. It protects the school and it protects the staff from each other and protects the school from any kind of issue that may come up due to a lack of clarity around duties, like work duties, or boundaries, or professionalism, etc. and so forth. Since we have intensive, we have a tendency to be like, oh, you'd be great for this intensive, let's bring you in for a couple weeks, which has been fantastic, right? We still need some kind of thing to be handing adults who come and participate in being staff here. That is, I would say that like, it's kind of an on fire priority. Like we sort of needed that yesterday.
So, can I interrupt?
Yes, please.
So I have had on my list of things to do for some time now, I've had we talked about, once we got the student handbook done and approved, we talked about getting a staff handbook. And I've been trying to very slowly and painfully craft one of those, but there is not an actual document like there was for the student handbook. I had suggested to Melissa that because we haven't been able to find one through, like Sarah didn't have one from IBHS even. And so I had suggested to Melissa that our new sister school might be a good place to reach out and see if they have something that we can use as.
Which school?
Did we end up being partnered with Apple?
I have a question about this.
Cause when we did the student handbook, we had the 3 words that we were able to just kind of edit to our things. And I think I've gotten through the first 5 out of 150 items in the OSBA's contents of a public charter school.
Did I ever give
Okay.
I will find it and I will bring it to you.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I
I know I had it all last year, because I kept like rereading it, being like, oh yeah. But, so I have it somewhere. And, I can see if I can't find that, but the orientation and the code of conduct,
They're separate, I understand, I just
Yeah.
didn't know if those were potentially both things that we could, I'm happy to do some research and see if I can find like just basic code of conduct that we can, you know,
like even for
edit and
teaching,
adopt.
yeah, like it's like teaching specific, school specific.
Yeah,
is really
yeah,
gonna be
that's
great
right, yeah,
for,
that's right.
you know, yeah.
And
So,
then
yeah,
I don't
and then we
know,
can edit it.
and then like I said, if I can't find anything, I could let you know. And we could potentially, like I said, reach out to our sister school and see if they have a document already in place that we could.
That's a great idea, and I would even be willing to like be a part of like a crew to get this done, cause I have trauma from working at the Dome School. And this situation kind of like being a problem,
Sure.
and I'm noticing sometimes that it could become a problem if we're not careful, and if we, we just gotta.
When I worked with Three Rivers, we had a staff code of conduct. And it was in it, so I would be glad to be on that committee.
Yeah,
And it's like titles such as the protocols on how to go about
right.
if there's issues among staff, what you do was first, what you do.
Yeah.
Also about leave of absences,
Right.
or I don't know.
Paid time off,
Yeah,
like the
paid
whole
time
entire
off.
thing, yeah. Like
And-
professional boundaries with students, kind of thing.
And parents, that was
Yeah.
a big one. So.
Yes, so it connects to the grievance policy as well.
I can try to find mine, but
That'd be great, even if it's dated.
I kind of think when I retired, I'm like,
Yeah, because of course
threw it away.
Yeah, it's clutter.
But I am sure
Yeah.
I can get one.
That'd be
I just know too many people.
Yeah,
So I don't know if that's what you're,
Yeah.
those are your thoughts about
Yeah.
that, so.
and the sooner the better, because right now, if like say an intensive teacher says, well, where does it say that I should or shouldn't behave a certain way? I have nothing to point to. It's only like
Well, I mean,
common sense ethics.
but technically,
Someone spoke.
technically though, our policy is that if we do not have a policy in place that is specific to our school, that
Right.
we revert to Three Rivers. So with having just the Three Rivers Code of Conduct, while we revise it.
If you can find it.
I would think that you would have to, present it and have people read it
Yeah.
to vote on accepting that.
Well, no, our policy though is that if
Yeah,
we
yeah,
do
yeah.
not have a policy that we have all done that to, that we revert to Three Rivers.
Oh,
Yeah.
And so if they have a policy in place, we will absolutely
Yeah.
write, review, do a reading, discuss, come back, and usually do a second reading to approve a policy. Once we write something for ourselves, but in the meantime, we can cover our booties.
Yeah, and to be fair, the reason, and so the reason why I haven't just like compiled something that like I think is reasonable is because like I'm one of the people who needs to be underneath this
Yeah,
kind
no,
of
that's why we
document.
talked about me doing that when we
Yeah.
started.
Yeah.
So
So,
Sally, I'll email you, and maybe you and I can be in touch, and I'll see what I can find, and if you can find something from Three Rivers, then we could get something drafted for approval at the next meeting.
great,
And I know we had to also, we had a rubric that we had to post in our classroom. And it was really a rubric and the steps on,
the disciplinary matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a disciplinary matrix like that, that's a little bit different, that's like a student handbook kind of thing.
Yeah.
What if we have something similar for like staff, like a flow chart, if this, but I'm working on like a duties flow chart right now that I should have rough draft done by, or I should have it finished enough to be pretty, Ryan will make it pretty by spring break. Where like if a community member or even like a parent volunteers in the building, if I see this behavior, who do I go tell kind of thing. So like we'll have that, but that's also separate than like, it's also complicated.
it is, but
withhold your autonomy, rules are written to keep everybody safe. Like especially here at our school, like the rules are for safety, they're not for control. So, yeah. Now, the formal approval of the fiscal sponsorship, should I go find Shannon?
Forrest got back to me, so thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone's on Facebook watching for that?
I know, I got it. Can we count?
Does anyone
Does
watch
it
the
ever,
lives?
does it tell us how many people are
Here, I will. Do two, I can
You
check.
wanna know?
KCA board live stream. One is.
Come back.
So you have a couple new art things.
Shirley took that off.
Hi, people.
We were just checking to see who.
How many people are watching?
I don't know, we gotta
There's
go
one
watch it.
person watching, but we think it's
Yeah. Trying to get all in.
Oh my gosh, look at my talking hands, my like frozen talking hands, I'm like this.
I'm still just.
How come, what happened to the camera?
So I don't have this printed out.
Which I was wondering if I should print it out, the fiscal sponsorship agreement, because I pretty much just took IBCDOs and all the other ones I could find and just mashed them together, and so some parts aren't that important, because they don't apply for us, and then I also want to make sure that everything's included that is important. In this case, I haven't printed it yet, because I'm actually still editing it, like rewording stuff, and Forrest is not here right now.
Well, then if it's not printed and you're still editing it, should we wait for a vote?
Okay.
Because we can't vote on a document that you're still editing.
Okay, yeah, because I'm glad we can go over it together, because some of these edits I wasn't able to make without talking to you guys first, if that's what you want. So I have it all highlighted, so I'm just gonna, I'm gonna read it out loud, so if there's anything that I'm not pausing on to address, you can just interject and be like, hey, I don't like that, let's edit that or take it out, or, so if there's anything of concern. So, alright, fiscal sponsorship agreement, this agreement is made between Kalmiopsis Community High School and Kalmiopsis Publishing. The purpose of the agreement, the organization, group, project, or activity calling itself Kalmiopsis Publishing, hereafter known as KP, requests Kalmiopsis Community Arts High School, there hereafter known as KCA, to provide support services in order to accomplish engage or carry out any other additional activities unless previously agreed to in writing for the duration of this agreement. That one's pretty standard. And class writing, Illinois Valley Youth Educational, Workforce Development, and Leadership Training opportunities associated with the production and publication of the newspaper. In order to accomplish this mission, the sponsored organization requests KCA to provide the following supportive services. This shall be treated as gifts, as a must be to accomplish the purpose of the project. The sponsored organization will provide
identification number. So this one is pretty standard for the fiscal, it's just, yeah, using the tax ID
couple of months, because
Yeah.
this is a big deal.
Yeah,
And it's far better to get it right than go
Yeah.
back and change it.
I was just,
So if you give yourself until May,
yeah,
I mean, you know, to really work it all out, June something, anyway, that's a thought.
no, I appreciate that, just because when we originally approached you, we said that we're gonna try to make it as little work on you as possible. And so I've just been feeling this like pressure of like, okay, just have it all ready, so you guys don't have to work on it, but I'd actually so much rather have everybody work on it. Because then I can make sure that it's like communicated across the board, and
Yeah.
not just me trying to put
It's
words.
very difficult to go back.
Yeah.
And it's very
Yeah.
difficult,
Yeah,
a misunderstanding.
yeah, if you're okay with the time frame, I'm okay with the time
Oh,
frame.
yeah, and something like fiscal, like sponsorship, like there's no need to rush.
Yeah.
Like the language, cause if there's something wrong in it and
Yeah.
we miss it, cause we're in a rush, like that's more trouble than any of us.
Well, another thing too is, you know, like me and Forrest are doing, like, we're dividing our work, where he's mostly focusing on like the editorial and like the newspaper aspect, I'm working on more of the nonprofit aspect. And so in order to get funding, does this fiscal agreement already have to be in place and signed? Because he's kind of wondering when the funding's gonna come in so we can operate better. Because right now we're doing everything out of pocket, and so we're trying to.
And I totally respect that, and I totally understand like how that must feel, but we can't rush things just because this is a project that like the group who chose to take it on so quickly, like was like, let's do it now, like that can't be our emergency.
Okay.
Like,
I mean, I'm actually really mindful that it happened this fast, I thought this was gonna go a lot slower, so.
it's really exciting, and there's nothing negative, it's just that there's no harm in taking it easy. Cause we don't wanna trip and fall and make
mean, that
something
was-
very, very bad.
That was my attitude from the get-go, like, let's just slow down, but it didn't slow down.
It's really easy to jump in
Yeah,
and then you go,
yeah,
wait, I didn't mean that.
yeah, exactly, take my.
I really didn't mean that.
Right?
I will say that, I do feel that you applying for grants can be a parallel process, like you could be developing them. I don't feel like lots of red flags. We haven't formalized this agreement as of yet, but that doesn't mean you can't be in the process as we work on formalizing it, working, but grants, so we can shine it.
I mean, one thing that we still have to do that I'm also working on simultaneously is even like writing our bylaws, because I can't even apply for the grants until I know what to tell them when they ask, so I really need to get all that in place. Our mission statement, we almost have a mission statement, I think, we're getting close, so.
Yeah, and it's not to say that like we don't trust you
Yeah.
guys, of course, like that's not at all it. Of course, we trust you,
Yeah.
it just needs
I
to be
just
done
didn't know if it
properly.
was gonna, if it was gonna hold me back from moving forward, but I mean, like, even just writing that list for Kate to meet with her, I don't have to have the fiscal sponsorship to do that.
Exactly.
Now, do you guys have a board or?
We have, we're 3 people and we're looking for board members. So that's another thing that I've been saying I don't wanna rush into, because yes, we're trying to build a board, but I don't just wanna throw a bunch of people together. So we're very slowly, selectively trying to build a board. I keep wanting to call in an actual board meeting, because we've had like, I mean, the 3 of us sitting in a room being like, alright, meeting adjourned. But I want like a real meeting.
Sitting at tables and being like, meeting over burgers, yeah. All in favor?
I mean, with us, it's just been when the 3 of us get trapped in a room together, we're like, I guess this is a meeting.
Yeah, we have quorum. Fantastic. Well, it's really exciting.
Yeah.
This was a lot of work, the fiscal document,
Yeah.
it was a lot of work.
Like I said, English isn't my.
No, you're
so
crushing it.
a lot of this I actually have to like Google, I mean, like, what does that even mean?
Yes.
So.
Just think how much you're learning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's impressive, you're.
Give yourself a master's.
I'm really excited about all this. And the library has great books, so.
So then should we try and schedule a special session
for the next week or
Um,
two.
what if, can I be in touch with Shannon and Sally?
They're
We'll
in the
see how
state.
quickly we can get things around, and then once we kind of know where
Yes.
we're at, then I'll email the board
Good,
and see what
So then
everybody's
I can-
availability is.
I can just not think about it until you
Yes.
think about it next time.
Correct.
Best. I love to hear it. And I can just wait for an email.
I know.
Yep.
Thanks, ladies. Fantastic. Well, great. Anything else, Shannon? Is that okay?
Okay, so we're just gonna be in touch and then the meeting will be announced then.
Yeah, we'll be in touch, and then once we've got all of our ducks in a row, then I'll reach out and coordinate a time.
Cool. Cause yeah, my time has become very slim, so with the meetings, I just need to know ahead of time.
I will use,
I am actually double working, I'm doing journey homework.
Yes.
I will gladly use your available times as the options.
Okay. That's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in, sitting in front of us, and sharing that.
Yeah, no, I'm
Super
actually
great.
really happy that you were like, can we not do this today, because I tried, but I don't feel ready.
It's all good. No, good job. You did great. Thank you so much. It's extremely exciting.
It
Just
is,
gotta do it right.
it is.
Yeah.
I also completely forgot that January was a real month.
Yeah, and it's over. Yeah.
It's over, it's officially out of the year.
Yeah, it's
Groundhog
Groundhog
Day.
Day.
Yeah.
Did you see the
Toxic
sentence?
sauce, Did he see a shadow?
He did
Yes,
see a
he
shadow.
did.
What?
Well, there's shadows all over the room right now.
We don't get winter.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, because.
It's my dad's birthday.
So
it's
all been linked
Oh, you should see it. Really don't know any
I
other.
had to write the thing down on the today.
Yes,
Yes, what was the last Sally?
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks, Shannon. I want to interview on title interview.
Update,
Can y'all take
which
No,
is,
she's Oh, no, it's
we are going to move that to the.
I did it wrong.
That's
Is that title of time?
Yeah.
We are close to hiring some people. We interviewed 6 candidates last week. Yeah. And tomorrow after school, our committee, our hiring committee is gathering to narrow down. Yay. Then we are going to. Yay, references.
Yay!
And let everyone know on Friday, this Friday, to make a decision. We'll make our decision, let them know, and then of course somebody that we offer to might need time to think about it, but that's our timeline. Tomorrow, our decision, Friday, let them know, and then we'll take it from there. So.
Yay, so can you just, I don't know about the title one thing.
Yeah.
So is it a teacher, a physician?
So I'll do my job, I'll do my.
Casey's so
They
good.
kind of give me pizza. Okay.
Sorry.
No, because I'm trying to say succinctly, but then you don't always like tell these pieces. So Title I is the federal program that gives extra money to schools based on income, totally based on income. If you hit the 75% threshold of students who qualify, for free lunches, you are a Title I school. That is us, because our current rate is 89% poverty. However, so they give us extra money, but then it allows us to help children based on their academic need. So at that point, it doesn't matter the kid's own personal financial situation at home. So we administer, so it's for an assistant position. We think 2 assistant positions. We can afford to hire 2 people at 0.5 FTE, full-time equivalency, for the spring semester at $20 an hour, so that's what our job description said. And then it ends at the end of the semester. Because it's a grant funded, there's no guarantee it will be available next year. However, Title I funds tend to always be available. So there is a good likelihood that whoever we hire for this semester could be rehired in the fall. And then they can serve all fall and all spring. The subjects are math and reading writing. So when we administer the math tests, measure academic progress tests at the beginning, middle, and end of the year, we identify who needs the most help. And that's what they're there for. So they will obviously be in math class, but as far as reading and writing goes, almost every class, except for the pure arts, has some element of reading and writing. So we would love to be strategic in how we use the support system to not have, we've been in classrooms where I don't people kind of
randomly drop in and out, and it's just not cohesive. So where the teachers can discuss, okay, your class, in science class, they're gonna be doing like a research project, and they can use some extra support for 3 weeks in April. Can we schedule someone to come into that same science class every day for 3 weeks? So we're hoping, bringing in extra help, which by the way, this is the first time we've been able to afford extra help in the classroom, like this is big for us. We're hoping it'll also help us be more structured in our curriculum planning, because we will have this motivation of sharing these. So that's the overview in a nutshell. Did that answer your question, or is it still?
Well, because I've been a teacher for
Yes.
6 years, right? And mostly in the public school system, I totally know about Title I, but I wasn't sure what that was gonna look like in KCA, so I got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I over-explained, I know you know everything, but I was also.
Different type of information.
Yeah.
Basically,
Oh, yeah,
it's
sorry, yeah,
No, it's good.
Yeah,
okay, thanks.
yeah, classroom.
It's just luckily it's more prevention.
Yeah.
And I swear some of the TAs I've met, I'm like, how are you here?
And it's focus,
And I'm one of those.
that's the thing,
It should be very focused.
and that's really how Title I is. Yeah,
Yeah, it's exciting.
well, good.
Get ready to have that extra help in the classroom.
Small,
Yeah.
focus, breaks.
Yeah, and actually a big thing that I wanna bring up about the Title I interview is that, like, a lot of things that KCA does out of the norm, we had our student reps sit in on the interviews. We're having a side conversation. But we had our student reps sit in on the interviews so that we could have student agency involved, since students are gonna be who are interacting with the aides the entire time. They got to have, they got to have say.
So, is it always just the two of you?
Yeah, cause we got elected for the whole school. The whole school every year votes on who their student reps will be, so everyone will have an election. So me and Drake did speeches, and so did a bunch of other students. And then the students vote which students will be the best representation for your, all the students.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, sitting on the interviews was really helpful. I had an
Yeah.
interview like the day after we took the interviews.
Oh,
I was
nice.
like, yo, I got this. I got this.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
Similar question, yes,
That's really
And-
cool.
yeah, whatever you do after tomorrow or today, it's definitely a great thing to put on the resume.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
definitely
you're so
submitting
sure.
more interviews than I've been.
Yeah, they should have shirts, student rep. That's a great idea. They also like lead community class a lot of the time. Like they have done strictly student focused, strictly student led, no teachers, so all the students feel safe, and they've done excellent
Very
results.
specific.
We did a student circle, and we actually got the most participation out of, I think, any community class. We had every single student in the classroom, which was really awesome.
The least amount of floaters in the hallway.
Yeah. Kids are very well respected.
And it's harder to say no to a fellow student than it is a teacher.
There you
it turns
go.
out.
Put that on the shirt.
That's right. Okay, so
No, go ahead, Sally.
It might be my turn.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Right, I'm on
Peace.
this.
Yes.
Yes, peace rally.
Yeah, well, honestly, I don't know hardly anything about it.
Oh, great. Do you know what group is doing?
It is, okay, just give me a second. So,
Valiant Divisible.
no, I think it is Grants Pass, what do you call the organization that represents the city, it's the.
Council, city council?
The Democratic, or Democratic.
Oh, gosh, sorry.
Hang on.
This is how
Grants Pass.
It's the Rotary Club,
Oh,
so it's a Rotary Club.
Yeah.
No, we're
Yeah.
having it.
And so they're the Rotary Club, because they represent Grants Pass, and we have a Rotary Club too, in Junction does. And anyway, they got together and would like to, I think it's at the park, Riverside Park, and have different people bring different things for the focus would be peace. And like my friend that she's already talked me into doing we're gonna do, I hate 3 things. So we're gonna make peace flags and kids, and whoever wants to come and, design it, that we can immediately put it on a big rope, or they can take it home or make 2, whatever. And then another one is, to make little bracelets just to wear, because in theory, you probably have done this with your friends, and you wear it until it wears off. So it's like a little charm.
Friendship.
Yeah, piece of bracelets. Anyway, that's all I know. And I can find out more from the Rotary people that.
When is it?
March 1st.
March 1st, it's March 1st.
Yeah, there's nothing on Facebook about it.
No, it would not, because they just had their meeting. And so their meeting would have been Tuesday, what's today? Anyway, maybe Thursday last week.
Okay.
So I guess maybe what I can do is find out more. It would be
March 1st, you said?
I think it's
Yeah, Saturday.
That's a Saturday.
yeah.
Um,
Anyway,
yeah, I am, I don't know if I will be able to participate.
I'll be there.
I might not like participate officially like through the school, but I, like my 7-year-old daughter is interested, she's getting more and more interested in things like that. So I might take my little kids, but I don't know if I
that was
function at a KCA capacity.
Yeah, they were just told them how interactive.
Yeah. And then.
I'll find out more.
Okay, awesome. And then what level of, cause like if we're like, hey, this thing is happening, if anybody's interested, like we had that recent issue with commentary about being the type of like indoctrinating the students. So I know,
Let's
gotta bring it up.
I know, I'm so glad everybody comes, yeah, but it's.
I agree. I just wanna be careful about, like, okay, first of all, I don't ever wanna teach the kids to hide, so I understand when some people are like not frontline people and feel uncomfortable by like physically being perceived standing up for these things, I totally understand that.
Well, one thing that can happen that I can see is, I don't even know what kind of things are there, what the Rotary has in mind. And it might just be a partnership.
Right.
Where you guys always sign up, you know,
Yeah.
do a little, in that little booth or that kind of thing. So,
Yeah, or even
make
like
it
tabling for the
recognized.
school, how we did at the Barter Fair in the How, where you represent the school and then you're like, here's our high school. Do you have almost high school age kids who want a more peaceful, artistic approach? Like these peace rally kind of things, since our school's values align with like peace on earth in general by letting everybody express themselves and be met where they're at, and, you know, like maybe even if it's not like flying signs and being like peace on earth, but maybe you could operate as like a alternative peace, love, learning experience. Peace, love, and learning experience without us. Any what? What'd you say?
We could just the cities.
Yeah, you know. But you know what I mean, like maybe tabling for the
Oh, yeah,
school.
totally.
I just wanna be careful.
No, also, like I just had a brainstorm. Do you guys have colors? Did I already ask you?
What do you mean colors?
Rainbow
School
colors?
colors, school colors, rainbows.
They're purple and green so far.
Okay, so just.
They're usually saying.
Yeah.
Just say, yeah, so maybe you guys are the ones that. Do purple, a little, that you can then see all who has that, and only KCA has those colors. So it's like a mutation kind of thing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I don't know,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, it's creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
The
be-
one of us kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the candy.
Or like the blue wristbands.
Right.
That's not that
Are
big.
there flyers?
Yeah.
I guess If they just
I need
planned
more
this,
information.
maybe not yet.
Let me call my friend.
Yeah, whatever point we have flyers,
Yeah.
would you like to visit a community class to talk about it, or
As a board member.
students talk about it?
Yeah, because the next meeting is already March 2nd, so, yeah, yes.
Sure.
Great.
Okay. I'll be in touch.
That would be really, yeah, to come.
Yeah.
I like that, and personally, if somebody was going to attack us for trying to make friendship bracelet.
I know.
We can be brave.
I mean, of course, I'm not saying, oh my god, don't do it.
I'm just like, ooh, oh, we're doing interesting. Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
That sounds like a Rotary was legit because maybe not affiliated with them right the very second, even though they're great.
Oh my god. I'm gonna watch it again.
I'm a fan of the pepper shakers too.
Yeah.
Well, did I have KCA do something?
No.
But I sure did.
Adjourn.
I sure did.
Yay.
I sure do like their attitude. Yeah. The pepper shakers.
Yes.